it's Emily Honey, or M Honey Reads, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about my October / spooky season reads, everything that I've read so far this month, and what I am planning to read for November. So again, like I said in my last video, I'm a mood reader, so all of these hopefuls and my TBR suggestions are just that, suggestions to myself. They're things that I'm thinking I might want to read. And so don't take them too seriously. They are subject to change at any time. But so I wanted to start with the first book that I read for October, and it's a spooky season read. I saw the cover, I saw the title, and I knew that I wanted to read this book. And it is Clown in a Cornfield. Now, this book was really, really good. It was a 4 out of 5 for me. It's a young adult, and it focuses on the main character, Quinn. She is a senior in high school. Her and her dad moved to a new town, and she realizes pretty quickly that the mascot for this town is Friendo the Clown. And so it basically snowballs from there, and I think you guys can kind of guess what happens to everybody in a cornfield. And maybe part of the appeal for me is that I am from the Midwest, and so I'm surrounded, all my backyard, all my side yard, it's all literal cornfields. So that might have been part of the draw for me for this book. But either way, I think it was a very interesting book. It kept me wanting to read more. I was shocked by some of it. Some of it was pretty easy to guess, but I really enjoyed this read, especially for the spooky season. There is a second book, Friendo Lives, and I do plan on reading that next spooky season. So I can't wait to dive into that one. I think it's perfect for October. It's perfect for me, especially where I live. I really love that vibe. I love that feel. And then my next book that I read in October, it's a book that I have heard about constantly, and I feel like I was a bit late getting to it, but better late than never. And I've heard so many good things. I rarely hear anything bad about this one or this author, so I figured I had to go for it. And it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. I loved the setup and the writing style of this book. I loved how the main character, Pip, she's doing a project. It's her senior year, and she's doing this school project, and she is doing it on a local murder / disappearance that she thinks was not solved properly, and she wants to go in there and kind of investigate it herself. And so it switches from, like, they show you her school projects, and then they show you like text messages, and it's a really fun style. It keeps it interesting. It keeps you wanting to read more. And this is the first of a trilogy of books, and so I do plan on reading the others at some point. I don't have them right now, but I do plan to, because this one was good enough that I know I'd find the other ones just as good or interesting enough to try. So like I said, 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth a try if you're into that whodunit murder mystery situation. It was really, really good. So my next read is one that I talked about in my last video as my favorite for October, and it's by a must-buy author, like I said, for me, and it's Grady Hendrix with My Best Friend's Exorcism. And if you haven't read Grady Hendrix, his style is kind of hard for me to describe. It's sarcastic and campy and, you know, horror, gore, just gross, and I love it. I'm a big fan, and it focuses around this sophomore in high school, Abby, and her best friend, Gretchen. And so Gretchen progressively gets more and more different, more and more odd. Her behavior's changing. She's a completely different person than Abby was ever used to. And Abby doesn't want to give up on her friend. She doesn't want to just turn her back on her. She needs to help her. She knows that she needs to. Strange things start happening around Gretchen, and things just take all these twists and turns, and it gets very, very odd. I highly, highly recommend to anybody who's into that sort of horror genre. And it's also, like I said in my last video, on Amazon Prime as a movie that came out in 2022. So those are always fun to check out and compare and see how close it actually got. And then my last book for October was book 5 out of 8 for the Blue Moon series for Lucy Score. And again, I have a super old Kindle, so please be kind. Don't judge. But it is Holding On to Chaos, and I loved this book. I love this series. I love Lucy Score in general. I know I gushed about her in my last video. I can never gush enough. I just want everybody who's into rom-coms, who has not read her, to go out and do it. She's got all of her books right now are on Kindle Unlimited, which is just like phenomenal. It's wonderful. I'm able to just kind of like plow right through them. But she's so good that even though they're on Kindle Unlimited, even though I can get them, I keep buying hard copies of her books because I want to physically hold them. I want to see them put all beautifully on my bookshelf so I can just stare with hearts in my eyes lovingly at them. So Holding On to Chaos is, I can't get too far into it without giving away the rest of the books, but basically I'll go into Blue Moon, the series so far from what I've read. And Blue Moon is this farming town that got a bunch of hippies coming into it. They got lost after Woodstock. So it's, you know, full of these quirky, fun, relaxed people. It's got, you know, smoothies and juice bars and all this stuff, but it's all homemade and everything's organic, and it's, you know, super cute, teeny tiny town. Everybody knows everybody. There's a beautification committee who is like set on getting people together, and they have a 100% success rate. So basically, each one of these books is a different couple set up by the beautification committee, and they fall in love. It's happily ever after. So that's what Lucy Score is all about, and I love that. I love counting on that. It makes me all happy and warm and fuzzy, and so I highly recommend any series by Lucy Score. I love that this one is an 8-part series because I don't want to give it up. You know, when Knock 'Em Out was over, and when the Pretend You're Mine, Protecting What's Mine, Finally Mine, all those were over, it broke my heart to have to say goodbye. So I'm a rereader, so I know I'll go back and reread those. But it's nice to have so many books so that I can keep up, because she keeps the characters from the previous books in these books. You know, you get to go back and see how their lives are going. So like, since I'm on book 6 now, I'm hearing all about the lives of, you know, the people from the past 5 books, and I get to see where their lives are going and progressing, and it's just super cute, super fun. All right, I'm done gushing about Lucy Score for now. So diving into what I plan to read for November, and obviously I'm on book 6 right now. I'm sure I won't finish it by the end of October. We just, yesterday was my littlest. She turned 3, and then in 2 weeks my oldest will turn 8, and it was just my birthday 3 days before my youngest. So, and we have trips planned and Halloween and birthdays, so I'm sure I won't be able to finish book 6 in October, but I do plan on finishing at least 1 or 2 of the Blue Moon books. Kindle, I don't know the science behind it, don't ask me, but I always end up reading things so much faster on my Kindle, so I'm able to really plow through those ones. But physical copies that I wanted to go through, possibly maybe Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. I just got this one for my birthday, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I do love Stephen King. I've read a couple of his books. I've listened to the audiobook for it multiple times. It's super good. If you haven't listened to the audiobook for it, phenomenal. Or Dolores Claiborne. I always, when people are like, what audiobook should I read? Dolores Claiborne is one of the first books that I'm always like, it's phenomenal. And then look at, I don't want to say how cute, but the back of this book, I honestly have no clue what it's about. I go in blind a lot of the time, So, but I'm really interested to find out what it's about. I'm really interested to see what's going on in here. And I know that it's part of a series of 3, and then also that it turns into a side character story into this big novel, Holly, which is new, that just came out, and I've heard nothing but great things about that as well. And then moving on to more of the end of November sort of situation, maybe beginning of December, as soon as midnight hits on November 1st, I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready to get it started. And I've heard a lot of good things, but I've heard some mixed reviews too about A Merry Little Meet Cute. And I just started reading Christmas books, and literally only one actually in a holidays. I read that last year. I've never really read Christmas books before. This is like my first couple years doing it. So if you have any good Christmas book suggestions, I would love to hear them. Leave me a comment or find me on Twitter at mhoneyreads and tell me about it, because I am always looking for new Christmas books to devour during the Christmas season. I love that rom-com Hallmark vibe. So I was really hoping to read The Merry Little Meet Cute, and then I'm back to gush some more. I got the Christmas Fix also for my birthday from Lucy Score. So like I said, I can't help it. I know that she's on Kindle, but I like to have physical copies to look at. They're so beautiful. So I plan on hopefully reading that one as well. Like I said, maybe end of November, early December. So please feel free, leave comments down below. Tell me what you thought if you've read any of these books, or if you plan to read any of these books and you get to them eventually, let me know what you think. And then if you've read any of the books that are in my hopefuls, let me know what you thought. Don't give anything away. Nobody likes anybody who spoils a book. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Bye.